Toby Keith's new song, American Ride. And I'll tell you what, has there ever been a more devastating assault against political correctness? I don't remember one. Helping me remember. One of my great memories, well, actually, my best friend. And he creates good memories. Sometimes. Anyway, Jed Babin here. Paul Bedard joining us. Washington Whispers editor, U.S. News and World Report, a guy who has a finger on the pulse of America like nobody else. Paulie, how are you?
Jed, that song debuts today on Country Music Channel.
Really?
So you're on top of the media scene.
Well, it had to happen eventually. I mean, nobody's ever accused me of that before. Well, tell me about it. I mean, you follow this stuff much more closely than I. You tipped me off on this yesterday. It sounds like he's got another smash hit coming, but not only that, this is a really funny parody. There's a music video that goes with it. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, he's a political singer. He's a Democrat turned independent. He supported the troops in the war.
Yep.
Remember, he got in a big fight with the Dixie Chicks over Brought to You by the Red, White, and Blue, and another political song. This one is, it kind of takes a shot at everything that's politically correct, from, people who don't like when you say Merry Christmas or God, to he takes on former President Bush's ties to the Christian right, and he beats up Barack Obama for the bailouts of Wall Street.
I love this. He beats up everybody. He's a non-discriminatory insulter.
And it's a pretty good song, but the video, which we have on our website, is hilarious.
What's your website?
usnews.com/whispers, and it shows him on his chopper Harley driving through the country, but basically driving through scenes of political correctness and just blowing them up along the way.
I love it. And wasn't there the big criticism of him and the big controversy surrounding that other, the Angry American song right after 9/11? Wasn't there somebody, I want to say Peter Jennings or someone was conducting the national celebration on the mall on 4th of July, and they wouldn't let him play that song?
That's right, and it's one of his, the guy's done a ton of songs that are famous, but that one really summed up the feeling of, at the time, a majority in the country, when he said, "We're going to pay you back, Osama, for what you did to us." And it seemed like he was supporting Bush. Actually, he was just supporting the war, and that's how he got into the big fight with the Dixie Chicks, who, remember, they were in England, I think, and one of the leaders of the band sneered at the president.
I remember
and
that.
They almost went out of business. Nobody was buying their ticket.
Yeah, oh, hey, they got what they deserved, as far as I'm concerned. In time of war, you just don't do that.
Yeah, there's a thought that this song could be kind of the theme song to what's going on in the town halls over health care, and something for them to play off, because they really don't have a leader or a theme yet, other than they don't like the health care bill.
Well, it sounds good to me. Now, let's go into health care a little bit. We got a couple more minutes. People need to know that the last time this came around, Hillary Care, I think it was 1993, 1994, somewhere in there, you were the White House correspondent for the Washington Times. And I think we can credit you for, frankly, having a big role in blowing up Hillary Care. Let me play just a couple of sound bites for you. We got first John Dingell and then Representative Brian Baird of Washington.
The last time I had to confront something like this was when I voted for the Civil Rights Bill and my opponent voted against it. We had a lot of Ku Klux Klan folks and white supremacists and folks in white sheets and other things running around causing trouble.
Some of the rhetoric that we're hearing is vaguely, not vaguely, but eerily reminiscent of the kind of things that drove Tim McVeigh to bomb the federal building in Oklahoma.
What are these Democrats thinking? I mean, Nancy Pelosi is talking about people wearing swastikas. To John Dingell, it's KKK protests. Harry Reid says it's loud, shrill voices. Now, this crazy guy, Brian Baird, saying it's rhetoric reminiscent of Timothy McVeigh's, what drove him to bomb the federal building in Oklahoma City. Have the Democrats lost it altogether?
I don't know what they're smoking, because, it seems to me that, in all the polling, and when people are asked what their political ties are, these, the people at the town halls, what the press is finding is that they're not forced to go there by Republicans or critics. These people are independents who are going there on their own. At one town hall meeting, they were asked, Okay, how many of you have participated in a political event before? Only 2 in 10 raised their hands.
Really?
These are brand new to the system. And, in fact, some of the conservatives who normally rally these types of crews, I talked to one, Grover Norquist of the Americans for Tax Reform, he says that they don't know who the leaders are. They're trying to reach the leaders to bring them into the fold.
Now, give me that 2 in 10 number again. Who were they?
At one of the town hall meetings, it was asked of the crowd, how many of you have participated in political events before? In other words, how many are you or just shills for a party?
Sure.
Only 2 in 10 raised their hand. 8 out of 10 are brand new to this. They're angry, they're upset, and a lot of them are not, in the old days of Clinton care, they got their information from the mainstream press.
All right, now we only got about a minute left, Paul, but we're talking to Paul Bedard, Washington Whispers editor, U.S. News and World Report. Back in the days of Hillary care, we didn't see this groundswell, did we? There was nothing like this.
You didn't see a groundswell like this. It was handled mostly in Washington. It was handled by the insurance companies and the health care providers. They were the ones who were against it. Now you've got now you have people doing this on their own who are communicating to each other, not through the mainstream press, who are reading this bill and seeing things in it that they don't like. And they think that it's, and of course it's bigger. You have to add into the bailouts, the growth of government, everything that is going on in Washington. People seem to be very angry at what's happening, and this is just what they're using as their vehicle.
And maybe, just maybe, Toby Keith has written the theme song for this August protest. Paul Bedard, Washington Whispers editor, U.S. News and World Report, usnews.com. Thanks for joining us, Paulie.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks. Talk to you soon. Jed Babin for Fred Thompson.